In a nondescript cubicle at the monolithic Glomco Enterprises, Richard was as unremarkable as a drop of water in an ocean of corporate drudgery. His desk, festooned with faded postcards and wilting plants, provided as much excitement as a spreadsheet. Then came that fateful night. A night stretching so long, you'd think it was procrastinating its own end. And it was on this eternal evening that the universe, perhaps jaded by its perpetual motions, chose Richard for a little experiment. The mechanism for this eerie alteration, a yawn. But what a yawn it was. Not your run-of-the-mill, garden variety, I need a coffee yawn. No, this was a yawning chasm so profound it seemed to stretch into dimensions previously only catalogued in the nightmares of philosophers. As he opened his mouth, the air seemed to wobble like jelly, and the office lights flickered nervously. Harold, the late-night spreadsheet wizard, was pulled toward Richard's mouth, as if by some irresistible force, his last surprised "oh" cut off as he was swallowed whole. He left behind only an enigmatic void, as if he had never existed at all. From then on, Richard's yawns became enigmas, consuming anything within their vicinities. First, a puzzled pigeon at a park vanished into oblivion, leaving a hole in the world filled only by its lost feathers. Then, a street musician and his banjo evaporated into silence, leaving behind an eerie echo of strummed strings. One day, propelled by an almost morbid curiosity, Richard yawned a camera into this bottomless mystery that had become his mouth. The footage defied comprehension, showcasing impossible geometries, shadowy entities in a spectral dance, and colors so astonishing they could have been borrowed from a lucid dream. Finally, overwhelmed by a sense of otherworldly exhaustion, Richard decided to take the ultimate plunge. He yawned again, but this time he yawned so profoundly that it seemed he would engulf his own being. His face distorted, his jaw unhinged, stretching impossibly wide. Taking one last look at the world as we know it, Richard stepped into his own yawn. He shimmered briefly, like a mirage on a hot day, and then vanished, as though he had been but a figment of his own imagination all along. And there you have it, the bizarre tale of Richard, a man who devoured himself with a yawn and became a living paradox in a universe that revels in the unexplained. It's a story of baffling boundaries and absurdities, all culminating in a yawn that was never quite done.